Hi, welcome to this lesson of Kindy Science, Lesson 7, Digestion. Today is going to be a really interesting lesson. We're going to talk about what happens to the food when we eat it. When does digestion start? And I think we all know when digestion finishes. We're going to do 2 experiments so that you can see how your body digests food. So let's get to it. Revision time. What is the word that we can use to describe when we can feel and measure how fast our heart is beating? The word is pulse. We can feel our pulse in our neck. We can feel our pulse in our arm. We can also measure our pulse using a special watch, and we can also measure our pulse using a pulse meter on our thumb. Digestion. Digestion is what our body does to break down the food we eat into very tiny particles. It mainly happens in our stomach and our small and large intestines. But digestion happens as soon as we start eating some food. As soon as we put something into our mouth starts releasing saliva. And saliva starts the digestion process. It's much easier for the saliva and other chemicals in the body to break the food down if it's in smaller pieces. So this is where your teeth are important, because they chew and grind the food into smaller pieces. Then you swallow it and it goes to the stomach. Now the stomach has 3 important functions. It stores food, it breaks down the food into a liquid, and then it empties the liquid into the small intestine. In the small intestine, the food is broken down a little bit more, and all the tiny, tiny microscopic parts are absorbed into our blood. And they go all around the body. The parts we don't use, well, we know where they go.
Let's experiment!
Experiment number 1 is really easy. We're testing to see if we can get saliva in our mouth. James and Rose are going to put a little piece of biscuit on their tongue, and they're just going to hold the biscuit on their tongue. You could do it with any food, a little piece of bread, a little piece of fruit, and they're waiting to see what happens. Now eventually their mouth starts to fill up with saliva. You can see Rose is starting to laugh because she can feel her mouth filling up with saliva. Was your mouth getting sort of watery?
Definitely. Yeah.
So did you feel like you were about to drool, did you?
Yes. Fun fact! Our salivary glands produce around 1.5 litres of saliva each day.
Experiment 2 is about grinding and digesting our food. You will need some crackers or some dried fruit, some water, some vinegar, a mortar and pestle, a funnel, a plastic bag, some scissors, and some safety glasses. Now what we're doing here is we're going to pretend that we are the teeth. We're going to grind the food up into a paste and then pretend to swallow it. So we start off by putting the food into the mortar and pestle with some water and grinding it up. Once we grind it up in the mortar and pestle, like we would if we were chewing it in our mouth, we have to get it to our stomach, which is the plastic bag. So we use the funnel to transfer the ground up food into the plastic bag. Now the food is all in tiny particles in our stomach, but our stomach is really acidic, so we're going to put a little bit of vinegar in there to be the stomach acid, and then we churn it all up. I squish it and move it and squish it and move it until it becomes a very, very liquidy mixture. Cut the corner off the bag and let the liquidy mixture go into a cup, just like the stomach would let the mixture go into the small intestine.
Fun fact! Some animals, such as cows, giraffes, and deers, have stomachs with multiple compartments, while others, like seahorses, lungfish, and platypuses, have no stomachs at all.
I hope you all enjoyed today's Kindy science lesson, and I hope you learned a lot about digestion. Remember, when you're doing those experiments, make sure Mum and Dad know and that Mum and Dad are helping you with them. Or if it's not Mum and Dad, make sure that a grown-up is helping you with those experiments. So, give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a pretend sticker, and I'll see you next week.